They call it the city that never sleeps. The city of dreams. The Big Apple. The crossroads of the world. It's said that if you can make it there, you could make it anywhere. So they come, from across the globe with bags full of hopes and dreams, and the city welcomes them. But dreams are rarely what they are believed to be, for while the city may never sleep, still, night falls. And it is in the night that the children of Cain wake and play out the masquerade in my city. Beware, children, lest ye fall.
Hello everyone, hi, I am Wandering DM, I'm Simon, and welcome to another episode of our Vampire the Masquerade campaign called Nightfall. Before we introduce everyone and we go into the recap and all that, I just want to let you know that this stream, like all of our streams here at Wandering DM, is sponsored by Mage Hand Press. Mage Hand Press, the makers of good books such as Dark Matter that we play here every Tuesday, and other books such as Taverns and Tankards, or the upcoming Book of Mimics that is set to release soon. So if you would like to troll your players with some very interesting encounters, check out store.magehandpress.com and use code WanderingDM to get 15% off anything you buy. Today, I'll be playing Sid Zimmerman, the Gangrel private detective, one half of the Vamp Dads, and presently probably covered in blood again.
Now, you did take a shower.
I took a shower after the last one. Did I take a shower after this one?
Yeah, and then you passed out from a Victrola.
Oh yeah, from Frank Sinatra. Because yeah. With me, I have, we have only one missing player today. Herschel will still remain in the basement for the time being. But let's go around the table, introduce yourselves, tell us who you are and who you are playing. And let's start with the other half of the Vamp Dads.
Hello, it's Scott. I am playing Alexander Erickson, the other half of the Vamp Dads, the resident Ventru. So let's see what trouble we can get into this week.
And we have with us our art daughter.
Art daughter here. It's your girl Alexander Slamilton playing Auden St. James, art daughter, critic extraordinaire.
And this entire adventure would not be possible without a storyteller. And for that, we have Deirdre.
Oh, hello, y'all. Welcome back to New York in the night. We've had some interesting things happen in the past couple nights. Discoveries of missing CPAs and lawyers. Houses that are trapped with flamethrower doors. Private accounting information of primogens and sires. Hauntings in the house that apparently are being manipulated by certain outside forces. We had a artificially turned vampire. Well, didn't go so well in the end. Had some messy destruction that was required. And this is the point in the series where I tell you that this is a Vampire the Masquerade game and that blood and murder are a thing in this game. So here's your official content warning for blood and possible gore, depending on if Sid is going to fight something or not. We also had apparently a delivery of a very large piece of antique furniture of a Victrola. For those of you who don't know, RCA Victor is the creator of the gramophone, and his first attempts at a household sale item was a Victrola, hand-cranked, beautiful piece of furniture. That was a gift for the Vamp Dads from the tribune of the Ventrue, one Véronique Montbéliard. There were 2 recordings that came with it. One, a recording of Sid's himself making notes that was interrupted by someone. And a recording of Frank Sinatra that had never been played, never been heard on the radio. Not a recording that anyone knew about. Unfortunately, this recording seemed to have a detrimental effect on Sid. But it did mean that Sid remembered something from the 20-year gap in his memory. And there was an attempt by Alexander to help Sid with that. Didn't really work as well as he wanted, but he tried. And then there was a request for a Rebecca Leibowitz to return the next night to help further. For those of you who also want to know, Alexander looks severely fucked up because he took 2 flamethrowers to all of him, basically. Magical flamethrowers from the doors. But that's not where we're going to start tonight. Tonight, we're going to wind the clock back just a little bit. As while the Vamp Dads had gone out to investigate the missing CPAs, Auden had begun the night with working on her art piece based on the photographs she had taken of when Sid disarmed that brouhaha outside Rebecca's. But she decided a little shortly after Alexander and Sid had left that she would, avail herself of an invitation she had received. An invitation to a gala opening / performance art. A private affair in one of the old meatpacking warehouses. About maybe 3 or 4 blocks north of where, actually closer to 6 or 7 blocks north of where the brownstone is. Alyssa, what would Auden wear to such an event?
Well, given that it is a private affair, and it's been a while probably since she's gone this far north, she figures the absolute most formal and minimalist looking black dress one has ever seen. So she's leaning into that little black dress look, but it's still very, very sleek, very modern, very form fitting. But, you know, she also is not wearing proper shoes for such an affair because she needs to give off the air of not caring. So she's wearing the most beat up pair of red Converse that she has.
So is this a clubbing little black dress, a cocktail at the Waldorf little black dress, or a be seen at the rooftop at the refinery little black dress?
It's definitely a cocktail at the Waldorf little black dress.
Always good to know. These things are important, you know?
The irony of formality and beat up shoes is 100% all over her Twitter as she's leaving the house.
You would hear from the basement Herschel making some loud noises and comments.
She's just ignoring him, but she does manage to shout, "Don't break anything while I'm gone!"
There's no response, except maybe another loud curse. You're not 100% sure what he's doing in the basement, but it's Herschel. And do you really want to know?
No. She just leaves. So she does send him a text on the way out that's like, "Hey, you might want to stop shouting curse words." Just an FYI. People can hear you.
We'll find out if Herschel cares later. But you make your way 6 blocks north. It's warm, but there's this chill in the air. The ozone has changed. A storm is coming. You can feel it coming. It's not here yet, but it'll be here soon.
This would be the day I would forget the umbrella, wouldn't it?
Pretty much every day, you know, it's like you look fabulous and you're ready to go out. And if you have the umbrella, it won't rain. But if you don't have the umbrella, you're guaranteed that it will. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The way life goes. This particular gala opening / performance art event is being held and hosted by a member, one of the Harpies that you are aware of. One Francisco Ruiz, a charming half Puerto Rican, half Dominican from Washington Heights, who with the just this very nice shapely little goatee and mustache look works for him.
I'm
And
excited for this one.
he is this party is hosting a young vampire of his acquaintance, another toreador, that seems to embrace both large-scale sculpture and musical performance on that stone sculpture. So all of the sculptures are both visually appealing, but can also be played as musical instruments, theoretically. He is a gentleman of your vague acquaintance. he is a gentleman of your vague acquaintance, only answers to the title of Salim. Seems to be of some Middle Eastern descent. You couldn't possibly pick out any particular area in by choice. Embraces a kind of nouveau riche, modernist French interpretation of traditional Persian attire. If you can kind of picture that in your head.
Oh, yes.
What Yves Saint Laurent would think someone from ancient Persia would wear. But he seems to be leading as you arrive. There are a number of people there. There are a number of other harpies have come. A number of other well-to-do vampires are attending. There seems to be a beginnings of, just as you arrive, the beginnings of a, you know, what little music DJ was in the background has dimmed, and now you have a Salim himself beginning to gather everyone around so that you can experience his sculptures and the music that they perform.
Auden is taking notes, and when she takes notes as a critic, she actually handwrites everything in shorthand, so she has a little black notebook that she's just writing down everything she sees.
Mm-hmm. What is your desire for this evening? What do you wish to get out of this evening? What are you hoping to achieve?
Well, I know for sure that like I need to finish another piece for the magazine I'm currently working with. And there are several that are looking for responses on this specific opening. But I'm also hoping for something that could be useful to bring to the Vamp Dads to be like, I know what's going on. So I think Auden is doing what she does best, where she's making very polite small talk and just sort of gently sort of broaching the subject without ever being too much like in people's faces about like there's some weird things going down. She's just very gently like, how are you know, everyone she sees, you know, gentle greetings and it's so nice to see you. How have you been? But she's looking for anything she can to bring back to Vamp Dads.
All right then. Why don't you roll for me? Why are you? There we go. Why don't you roll for me then? Charisma etiquette, just to see how well you can work this room and see what you can gain from it.
And difficulty 6, I'm assuming.
Difficulty 6. Yep.
1 success.
Hey, there are a lot of people talking. The various, while the Primogen had been keeping or attempting to keep the various kidnappings a secret, a number of Toreadors had been kidnapped. That was out the door. You know, anything would been that it was going to be desired to look like it wasn't going to be talked about is now being talked about. There's rumors going back and forth. Some people are concerned that the Inquisition might be making headroads into the into New York, and they are concerned about that. There are some who are concerned about is this a Sabbat trick? There are rumors that there are La Sombra in the city and the prince has been allowing them to live there. Is that something we should be concerned about at the moment? I've heard other rumors that there might be a Giovanni in the city. Well, that's not true. If there was such a thing, our prince would never allow that to be such. You hear some rumors that people claim to have seen commandos in the streets at night with night vision goggles, with large crosses and in the emblems of the Vatican on their backs. Almost nobody believes that story because really the Vatican is not that. They don't look like a bad movie. They have enough money to spend not to look like a bad movie. You do, however, hear an odd rumor. It comes from a couple other people that there are a number of exsanguinated deaths in one of the hospitals that seem odd because there are no bite marks, but the blood is missing. There are currently 4 such deaths being investigated at NYU, at the NYU hospital, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. And that there are rumors that the CDC might be called because there are concerns of an infectious disease, possibly of something like Ebola.
Auden's trying to listen without like injecting herself, so she pretends like she's looking at one of the statues and is just making furious notes about all of this.
These statues are rather overlarge. They are all made of sandstone and various other natural materials. One is very obvious, like looks like both a humanoid figure that with the hands that have suddenly become like harp strings off the nails. And Salim has started to approach this one and is like, "You must hear this. It is the best." He's relatively new as a vampire. He's roughly the same age you are. Equal rough standing, but he seems to embrace the macabre is his aesthetic.
I think Auden for sure is sort of a touch judgmental. She feels like Alexander has been an influence in making her a little more able to behave in front of other vampires. She's sort of nodding and smiling, but internally screaming.
Yeah, Salim is a little bit of a pretentious dick in the worst kind of way. But accounts are that he was that big of a pretentious dick when he was human and embracing those kind of arts. Could you roll me perception awareness?
Perception. Is it alertness?
Mm-hmm.
There it is. It's at the top of the list. No success.
Nope. None at all. The music is while the sculpture instruments themselves probably could be decently tuned and provide an interesting experience, Salim is not a musician, and it's very obvious that he is not. We are talking Idina Menzel cowbell level of lack of musicianship from Rent movie. Which is probably grating on most of the kindred who are visiting's ears. You see a couple people just kind of gritting their teeth and putting that very professional, oh god, this, okay, life is good. There are a couple other people walking around, but one of the servers walks up to you.
Oh, no, thanks. I don't need another glass.
Miss St. James, I have a letter for you.
Okay. I'm just gonna open it and...
So glad to see you're continuing our work. I'll be there by your humble abode, probably later.
Ah. She just tucks the letter in her notebook and tries to maintain her face, and she looks for somebody so that she can sort of pass the glass off in her hand and make a very quiet exit.
Could you roll me charisma etiquette again to see how well this composure of yours maintains getting out this door?
Sure. Same difficulty?
Yep.
No successes.
Nobody comments, but a couple people kind of take note of your slightly less than composed exit. You see Francisco kind of look to you almost as if he's going to see if there's something wrong, but somebody distracts him with something to say. Nobody stops you, but a couple of people definitely take note at the usually very composed and professional Auden St. James is leaving a party early and at best possible speed.
Yeah. I try to wave to Francisco, but it's one of those, like, my hand is very obviously shaking. It's like, bye. Great.
So then the question becomes, as you return home, slightly stressed. It's been a couple hours, it's been a few hours by this point. The Vamp Dads have returned. The Vamp Dads have dealt with their, well, flamethrower house, and well, that was yesterday. They dealt with other things today and tonight, and could you roll me, Auden, as you're walking kind of stressfully back home, a perception alertness?
Here we go. 2 successes this time.
As you are walking into the house, or walking up the street towards the house, you notice a red Mazda Miata parked on the street. And it's odd, because it's a side street in New York, and with alternate side parking, almost everyone recognizes everyone else's car. Not necessarily knowing who goes with what building, but you at least know all of the regular cars that are there. And a red Mazda Miata convertible kind of stands out. Even more so with a personalized license plate that says Frannie 1. Frannie 1.
I'm gonna keep gritting my teeth and trying to ignore the car. Like, great. This night is getting weirder by the second. Who's this now?
Do you want to see if there's anyone in the car?
I will look at the car, but it's just like, part of me is just like, am I gonna know this? Is this gonna be, am I ready for this? So she kind of like creeps up to the car.
You can use either intelligence investigation or wits investigation.
Go with, doesn't, I guess either way becomes the same thing. Use wits. 1 success on that one.
As you're approaching this car, you notice a female figure getting out and striding up the street away from you. Accounting for the heels that she's wearing under those very, very tailored slacks, probably 5'4", 5'6", somewhere in that range. Long, dark, almost brown-black hair, styled very well, and kind of aggressively tailored suit. But Auden is a student of fashion, shall we say, right?
Oh, she would definitely recognize it. She clocks this.
You would clock this suit, and one of the first things that you would immediately notice about it is that it is very tailored to accentuate everything that God and her mother gave her. With a double-breasted vented back.
Auden wants to say, Auden's having a conflicted sense of thought that it's like, oh my god, this is a perfect suit. Then it's like, nope, can't get distracted by good fashion. She kind of stops for a second and goes, no, I'm going to follow this. So she's going to follow her.
Can you roll me, it's dexterity stealth?
We're about to see how stealthy I am. 2 successes.
You are... Wow, I rolled that wrong, but okay, hold on a second. Sorry, I put the wrong. I put less than instead of greater than. You think you're being very quiet, but suddenly this woman turns around and smiles at you and very nicely and politely and says, I'm so sorry. I'm a little bit lost. Could you direct me to 29 Houston Street?
Sure. Auden sort of gestures vaguely in the direction of 29 Houston.
Well, you're on Charleston, and Houston is a couple blocks north of you.
Oh yeah, she's being very much delaying. So she's kind of like, if you follow that way and turn there, and interesting car you have there.
Oh, isn't it? It was it was a birthday present, to be honest.
Ah, I see. So you're gonna park it several blocks away from where you're going?
Isn't this the right street?
No.
Ugh. Question is, do I try and park it anywhere else in New York, on the street in New York?
Well, that is a risk, but you are a little bit away from where you should be.
How far exactly?
Oh, a good couple blocks.
Oh, well, okay then. I should move the car. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Here, when you have a moment, come visit. My family does a lot of fashion. She hands you a card.
I'm definitely examining the card.
It says one word.
Huh.
All it says, it's just one word on the front. It's Maselli's. And on the back is an address on 5th Avenue.
So, I'm guessing your name is Franny, given the last name.
Yeah. Well, Francesca.
What brings you over here?
Oh, I'm meeting someone for drinks. It's been so long. I haven't seen them.
And who are you meeting?
Oh, just a really old flame.
All right. Looking your best to sort of get their attention again, or to make them regret what they lost?
6 of one, 1/2 dozen of the other.
I see. I hope you have something to protect yourself on these streets. It's a little dangerous to wander around at night.
Oh, I always carry. And she kind of pulls out of her wrist a pepper spray. Just because a girl grew up Well, you can take the girl out of Brooklyn, but you can't take Brooklyn out of the girl now, can you?
No, indeed not. Indeed not. On is definitely weighing. It's like, who is this? And can I get anything out of this? Well, good luck getting to drinks, and hopefully the old flame realizes what he gave up. Or they gave up.
Oh, well, he this time. I'm sure he will. It'll be quite so much fun. Really looking forward to it. But thank you again, and definitely come stop by the store. I think we can do a lot for you. And she just kind of does that polite little wave and then walks back to her car and drives off.
Auden kind of imitates it. Which she's like, pretty lady. Thought. And then it's like, oh shit. No. She's like, oh no. Well, that was a nice distraction for a second.
Walking back into the house, you would notice Alex and Sid in Sid's office, along with a very large piece of furniture that's just kind of randomly shoved in there.
Dads, I'm home. Anybody, that's a piece, I guess. Is anybody... She's kind of just looking like, are you alive in here?
Am I still passed out?
No, you've woken up and remember Alex did kind of poke around in your head and then decided that he texted Rebecca to ask for additional assistance.
I am not walking through that minefield. If Rebecca was involved, she can come and do this.
Well, what Sid would know and would be able to tell you is that Rebecca helped him when he first came to New York.
Right.
Put his brain relatively back together.
Well, then it's better to talk to the expert that did it.
This is true. You would definitely be aware that she was not the one that caused the amnesia, but she put him, basically put it in such a way that he could function.
Okay.
So y'all have had a fun night.
Alex, even though he's changed and in a new suit, is still showing burn scars and like singe marks.
Oh yeah, I noticed. I'm just not like, I'm trying to talk about it without like being like, you're burnt.
And I would like to spend some blood to try and heal this.
Okay.
If possible.
You can.
Okay. Do I need to make any kind of rolls or anything?
I don't believe so. I think
Or
you
is it-
just spend it.
You just spend
one. Yeah, one per mark of wound, right?
Okay.
It's 1 per bashing, I think, and 3 for lethal.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh, wow. I don't know if this was lethal or aggravated.
I think it was just. Well, it's
Okay.
flame, so it's
Yeah, it was
automatically
flame.
it's automatically aggravated.
Aggravated. So that's like 5. So
Oh no, it's lethal. It's automatically lethal. Sorry, not
Okay,
necessarily
so-
aggravated.
So then it would be 3.
Yep.
All right. That's a lot of blood.
By the way, quick aside, the reason why I'm not chatting at the moment or replying to anything in the private conversations is my cat fell asleep on my keyboard. So, and I'm not moving him from... Oh, here's a paw.
Up.
Someone's stretching.
He's claiming his territory. It's his now. Gosh, 3 blood is a lot of blood right now.
Yeah. We had a little outing.
I can see that. So, I heard an interesting rumor today. Also, we might have a visitor coming soon.
And who would this visitor be?
My sire might be coming by. So that's great. I think.
Well, I guess it would depend on what the terms are that you are on with your sire.
Well, the last time I saw him, he passed a few things on to me, and then he disappeared into the countryside, and I maybe threw a lit cigarette at him as he was leaving.
If that's all the altercation you had, I'd say that that's probably on the more mild side that most kindred have with their sires.
Yeah. He's I mean, a lit cigarette that might have set the car that he was trying to leave in on fire and burnt up his favorite coat. And yeah. So we didn't exactly end things on great terms, but of some of my breakups, at least it was, cool.
That sounds a little more accurate then. Great. Well, the house is, in no shape for guest, but we'll make do.
Can we get some help for that? Or is this going to be one of those we're going to have to wing it kind of moments? I'm basically saying, like, I'm not sure I want to see Nathaniel if he comes through, but I don't think I have a choice. He's very good at the whole charisma thing.
We can always pretend you're not here.
Yeah, that might work for like a minute or 3. Could we give him Herschel? maybe if he sees Herschel, he won't want to come by. I don't know what to do.
Herschel doesn't particularly like to answer the door.
That's true.
It'll be fine. We'll deal with your sire when he gets here.
Thank you. Now, shall we talk about what happened to... She just sort of gestures at Alexander. You in this case?
I would rather not.
Good.
Got burnt.
Let's just say that my appreciation for the Tremere has not increased any. Anyway.
No need to get yourself all burnt up about it. I'm gonna go upstairs now, if that's all right.
That would be fine.
Okay. She's just gonna disappear upstairs.
It is quite late by this point. It's probably an hour, maybe before dawn.
I'm going to clean up some of this mess and move the Victrola. And then I'm going to retire. Do you need anything?
For you to move the Victrola out of my office.
You sure you don't want me to play the radio again?
If that Sinatra song plays one more time, I swear to God, I'll destroy the Victrola.
Only because I don't want to see something so priceless be destroyed so recklessly. And that's fine, and I'll start cleaning up the box the Victrola had come in, and then we'll move it into one of the other, I guess somewhere into the conference room or something.
What are you going to do about the box that you put at the top of the stairs that's addressed to Herschel?
Do you think we should put this downstairs in his room, or... I thought he would have come pick this up by now.
Does it smell anything?
Do you want to roll the perception alertness on it?
Sure.
Your nose is better than mine.
I'm gonna have to ask you to move, Kitan. Perception alertness. Difficulty 6?
Mm-hmm.
3 successes.
And a 10 to reroll.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. We rerolled 10s. 4 successes.
Underneath the smell of cardboard and packing tape and styrofoam, you smell fresh roses. And something sweet. Almost sickly sweet.
Looks like Herschel got flowers and gummy bears.
Far be it for me to deal with his personal business. Who's it from?
I look on the is there a label on it, or?
There is no label and no return address. Merely a handwritten address to Herschel Ackers.
Do you think he got a secret admirer?
I mean, I suppose anything is possible. Improbable, but not impossible.
It's making me want to look in the box.
I mean, you could always tell him it was ticking.
Nah. It's not a rotting head or anything, and nothing's leaking anywhere, so I'll just put it downstairs.
All right.
Sid, can you roll me perception occult?
Kitten, I need to roll perception occult.
+1.
A bunch of successes.
2 10s to reroll.
One more success. Hello, Raiders. One more success. Okay, that's enough.
This box feels sticky in your hands, grimy, like poor old molasses that had been let to sit outside for a number of days.
Ew. Like the outside of the box is sticky?
It feels such in your hands. It doesn't look to be that there's anything like that, and you didn't smell anything like that when you were looking at it.
Okay, this package is getting incredibly weirder. I'm sorry, Herschel. And I'll open the package.
You cut through the packing tape on this, box. It's about 12 inches square. There's inside, it's filled with styrofoam, peanuts, also called ghost poop, apparently, in some circles. Yeah, it's a thing, apparently. But there's also an internal styrofoam box that's about 10 inches square. and looking at it and just going to touch it just gives you this sick feeling in your stomach.
Is that the box that smells like roses?
Mm-hmm. The whole thing smells like roses.
Oh, okay.
But it's like there was a packing box, and then inside the packing box was a styrofoam box.
Mm-hmm. Curiosity's getting the best of me.
Just open the damn box already.
Part of me feels like I should.
You've gone this far. Go ahead and go and open the box.
Plus, who puts perfume on packing peanuts, really? And I'll open the styrofoam box. Delicately.
Could you roll me manipulation occult?
Herschel, what the
Plus
fuck
1.
did you order?
We really need to limit his time on the dark web.
2 successes.
You feel that medallion around your neck start to heat as you see inside this styrofoam box a bouquet of red roses that have been dried and pressed. And in the middle of the bouquet is a almost perfectly preserved human heart. And you feel something in your mind try and overwhelm you.
Close the box.
The feeling dissipates, but it's still kind of there. It's not, it can't take you at the moment, but you feel that it wants to. Something wants to.
Yeah, Alex, I think Herschel has a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Or a special friend.
Did I see what was in the box, or was it just Sid opening the box and looking in?
Did you look in when Sid opened the box?
I'm going to say no, because my next question is, what's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Someone gave Herschel their heart, quite literally.
What in the hell is going on? First the flowers, the wreath, now this.
I think it's time you go speak to Herschel about the birds and the bees.
Is the smell bad enough that Auden would smell it upstairs?
I mean, you would smell the roses after he opened the box because it's odd. And Sid, you would recognize this. These are dried roses. There isn't a scent on them anymore, but there's an overwhelming scent of rose.
Well, which is why he thinks that someone put perfume all over the box.
Which is possibly a decent assumption. But yes, you can smell roses from upstairs. Oh, but you would also smell roses because of the giant funeral wreath that's inside the front door of the house.
Oh, that too.
So there's lots of rose going on in this house right now.
Oh my god.
Hey, at least our house smells good.
Kind of combating Herschel.
Y'all, the howdy dumped my grandma's perfume down it. What's going on?
Herschel has a secret admirer.
Frightening as that is.
I have a lot of questions.
So do the rest of us.
Seriously, it smells like grandma's perfume down here.
Yeah, well, you know you don't need to breathe.
Why did you close the box so quickly?
Something wrong with the heart. Made the medallion burn.
Ooh, there's a heart in the box? Ew.
Yeah. Someone's.
Nosferatu pictures are weird. Ugh.
I mean, I'm not one to kink shame, so we'll let Herschel do whatever Herschel does, but
I didn't take Herschel for the romantic kind. And I'm not saying this because he's a gross vampire that lives in the basement. I'm saying it just because, like, his personality. Do you think someone's trying to kidnap Herschel?
I don't think we could be that lucky.
I mean, no, but, you know, why send him all this stuff? They're not trying to bring him out of the basement.
I don't think there's a lot that gets Herschel out of the basement. But no return address, no anything else. It's just a box with dried roses and a heart.
You think it could be coming from one of those, like, person from his internet chat rooms?
It's possible. Put everything back in the box, and Rebecca should be coming. We can have her take a look.
Ah.
Just put it somewhere Herschel won't open it. Put it in the bathroom. I don't think he goes in there.
Might be best to put it in your room.
Yeah, there's not a chance that's happening.
Alright, I'll keep it in mind.
Herschel doesn't go through your things, that's fine.
Guys, we have a whole extra floor bedroom that we could put it in. We don't have to put it in any of our rooms.
That's technically true.
Thank you for being the voice of reason.
I'll put it in the professor's room.
It still smells like blood.
It's gonna smell like blood and roses, like the band.
It's Guns N' Roses, Sid. But I get what you mean.
It's a little after Sid's time.
All right. One day, Sid, we'll get you to that 21st century mark.
Sure.
But
So you take the box down to the room the professor was in before you destroyed whatever remained of him. You retire for the day
Mm-hmm.
because it is such. Now, the storm that threatened, last night, crashes over this house. And Sid, you awake to lightning and rain and wind. A heavy storm from the sea. You can smell it. It's probably been raining for a while now, but you can see the lightning crashes and it's kind of sitting over New York. What are you going to do now that you have awoken for the night?
Oh. Giant freaking storm's gonna be good for humidity.
Yes, it will.
Hey, wait, is it tonight the night?
No, tomorrow night.
Ah, shoot, it would have made a perfect night to fight in the rain.
You're having this fight in the arena at the Elysium. It isn't going to be in the rain, honey.
It would have been perfect in the rain.
The queen will not allow, that would be a mess in her place, and she doesn't want that. You get to tell her Royal Highness that you wanted to allow all of the rainwater and to add to the amounts of blood and mud that would have to be cleaned up after the fact.
Oh yeah, blood and mud.
Yeah. But Alex, you awake this night to a text message.
And who's texting me?
Rebecca.
What does she say?
If I'm looking at Sid's head, I need to be there in like 15 minutes. I'm probably going to need a while.
See you in 15.
Good. Don't die.
It's an odd response, but all right.
Auden's texted Herschel to be like, so tell me about your girlfriend, boyfriend, person friend, question mark?
There is no response from Herschel.
She's like, I can see you've read this. Your read receipts are on.
No, they're not.
And I'll head downstairs. I'm seeing Sid's already up.
Yeah, I get up pretty early.
Rebecca will be here soon. So
All right.
clear that head of yours.
Oh, like right now?
Probably in the next 15 minutes or so. I think I'm going to have her poke around in there and see if we can undo whatever someone else did to your head.
This will prove to be interesting.
I want to know who the 3 guys were that shot you.
I'd wager they're probably dead.
Well, death can be a funny thing.
Well, I mean, they didn't succeed.
That's not to say they weren't kindred themselves, or who knows.
All right. Well, when is she gonna get here?
Her text said about 15 minutes, so I would wager shortly.
Auden, what do you do this night as you arise?
Was about to type up my art notes, but I'm trying to remember the Francesca that I met. What? I think I'm gonna Google her a little bit and just kind of internet stalk a second.
Francesca Maselli? Maselli.
I'm looking at the card and looking for if there's anything I can figure out about her or.
You get a hit for Maselli's on 5th Avenue between 48th and 49th. Across the street from Cartier. It is a very high-end women's fashion. Appointment only.
Appointment only.
Italian, seems to have been there for a number of years. The family seems to be Italian tailors or fashion makers going back a couple generations. Francesca seems to be, according to the information that you find on the website, the current owner.
I'm wondering if she's worth paying a visit to, but I'm gonna go downstairs and see if her car is still down there.
You had probably come down just about the time Alex asks about the 3 men who shot Sid.
which is just like, this is not my conversation, but I'm going to sit here and listen.
Just something from Sid's past that we uncovered.
Sounds like a real mystery there. Hey, did y'all see a red Miati hanging out outside?
What about it?
Is it... Have you ever seen it before?
It belongs to a fucking Giovanni.
Huh. That explains a lot. All right, then.
Did you see the car?
Oh, I saw the car last night. And the woman driving it. She would like me to pay a visit.
Be very careful.
Huh.
The Giovanni are not something small to trifle with.
Oh, boy. I mean, the shop that she's at is very close to Cartier, so... You know, sounds like an angle worth looking at. Although I do kind of want to know about what's going on in your head, Sid.
So do I.
I assume Rebecca will be here eventually.
She should be on her way.
And lo, Rebecca. No? Doesn't work like that.
I mean, I don't think Rebecca Leibowitz has ever appeared on command.
I don't know, we said her name like 3 times.
It's not Beetlejuice.
I don't think it works that way.
Don't think it works that way. You get another text message, Alex.
This time from
Jessica Pearson.
Miss Pearson needs what?
Miss Pearson is concerned that a fucking gangrel woke her up. And those are literally the words she uses.
Explain? Question mark.
Why the fuck is Eckhard Stein waking me up?
I'm assuming I would know who Eckhard Stein is.
Probably. Hey, Sid, how much have you explained about your shithead sire to your bestie?
Probably not that much. Because I don't tend to talk about it much, period. But he probably knows the name.
So I know the name and I know that's your sire. Don't know much about the history between you two.
No.
You know that it's bad.
Shit. All right.
You would also recognize that was the E. Stein was the
Other box that we found in the CPA office, yes. Sid,
Yeah, what?
any reason your maker would be in town? And any particular reason he's pissing off the Ventru Primogen?
I don't know, and he's a dick.
So what I'm hearing is that everybody's got some daddy issues.
Sounds a bit
Irish.
that way.
I think on that, we're going to take our break for the afternoon.
All right. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. Everyone, stick around. Hello everyone, we're back.
We have returned.
So we left off with the question of, does everyone have what was it? Oh yes, daddy issues. To the question of Jessica Pearson texting Alexander about why Eckhard Stein is waking her up. Why the fuck is Eckhard Stein waking her up? And in general, being a nuisance asshole.
My apologies. I did not know he was in town. What has he done?
He's making demands. He wishes his property returned.
My apologies for being in the dark. Did he elaborate on what property?
Something taken from a CPA firm?
I'll get with Sid and we'll take care of this.
Deal with it.
And I'll head into Sid's office. What did you do with the box that you took from the CPA firm?
I point to the bottom drawer of my cabinet.
The box hasn't even made it into the drawer yet because the drawer is still bulging with other shit and it's kind of sitting next to.
It's going in my asshole drawer. Why?
Well, your asshole wants his property. And he's pissing off the Primogen as a result. So to prevent Jessica Pearson being further up my ass, I would like to see this returned to him. However, if you want to keep records of it, that's fine. I can have Elizabeth make copies. I already did that with the Tremere's records. We can do this with his, if you would like.
Seems like a wise move, Sid.
Yeah, sure.
All right. And I'll text Elizabeth that there's another box in Sid's office that we need to make copies of.
Right away, sir. Is there any particular requirements or just standard copies?
Just standard copies are fine.
Very good. 1 hour.
In the meantime, we need to figure out why all of a sudden your sire's in town and pissing people off. On top of everything else we have going on.
I want to see this Giovanni lady at some point. I want to know why she was on our street.
I would like to know why she's here as well.
I feel like she's spying on the house.
We can guarantee she's been doing that. She's also pissing off the spirit that lives here.
Well then.
That tend to be what Giovanni do. Well, that and other unmentionable things with dead things.
Well,
Yeah.
I can't speak for y'all, but I wouldn't mind one of her suit. It might be a way for us to get in at least. And I could get a new suit. Got my priorities laid out.
What was the name of the...
Miss Sally. On 5th Avenue. between 48th and 49th.
And I'll text Elizabeth again. Get on an appointment at Miss Sally's. When would you like the appointment?
Oh, we should probably do sooner. Before Sid's fight, perhaps.
Yeah, if you want to go shop tonight while Rebecca does her thing with me.
And I'll text her and say, tonight, please.
Yes, sir. The doorbell rings.
Auden jumps. Oh, good. Not it? Does that work?
That's probably Rebecca. I'll go open the door.
Rebecca is standing on your front step, dressed today in a very basic jeans and white tailored shirt, tied with a vest and large, almost simple jewelry, Star of David, and that's about it. And she looks at you and goes, "So are you gonna open the door, or am I gonna stand out here on the step?"
The door is wide open.
But you're standing in the way. Move.
Jesus.
You know, it's really weird to hear you say that, just for multiple reasons.
Yeah, I'm in oy vey.
I mean, there are plenty of ways that could go, but whatever. So we're fixing your brain finally?
I don't know, you should ask him. He's the one that wants to play my brain.
Oh, hey, Alec. Auden! I haven't seen you. You look divine, darling.
Thank you. Thank you. So do you. Very, very plain, very chic.
Why does it smell like so many dead roses?
Oh, yeah, that reminds me.
That's another.
We should probably address the box first. Herschel received a gift, so to
Yeah,
speak.
like I carried it in. It was all sticky and nasty.
Yeah, it's apparently full of dried roses and a human heart.
That's not creepy at all.
No, what's creepy is the fact that the heart made the medallion burn.
Yeah, okay. That's a lot of creepy right there. It's like exponential of a creepy right now.
Yeah. Any ideas on why or what would do
I
that?
mean, like I could think of like 6 things off the top of my head. I'd need to actually see it.
Oh, by all means, and I'll go get the box and bring it in the office.
Cool. So, well, you go do that. Sid, there's like a place in this building that you're actually like comfortable and relaxed.
From the other room, probably that pile of shit in his office.
That's not relaxing. That's stressful. Just like looking at that stresses me out.
But that's the place I feel the more at ease in the house.
How can you not, like, all right then, fine. So, do you care if they hang out?
Who?
Like Auden and Herschel and Alex, as I kind of like mess around with your brain?
We're right here. Well, I am.
Well, I turn to Auden. Are you gonna go shop for a suit tonight, or?
I need to know when the appointment is, but I'm not just gonna take off if you want me to stay.
No, I don't mind. I don't have anything to hide, I think.
Auden, just roll me charisma etiquette. +1.
It's 3 successes.
Plus the reroll. You get to reroll the 10.
And another success.
Alex, you receive a text from Elizabeth that Miss St. James has an appointment later this evening. 1:30.
So I'll come back in with the box and Auden, you have an appointment this evening. Well, this morning. 1:30.
All right. I guess I need to be ready.
Well, it's only 8 o'clock right now, but
Please make sure you have your GPS on your phone and be very careful.
Of course, of course.
The Giovannis are not to be trusted.
I'll
Anything you buy, just make them send me the bill.
Of course.
going shopping on Daddy's credit card.
I
Fun
know.
times.
I think Auden will wait here with Sid until she has to take off so that she can get to the appointment with like almost no time to spare.
Okay. Probably want to leave maybe 12:45-ish, depending on how you're going.
I'll have a car. Wait for her.
Then you definitely want to leave at 12:45. Cross town and uptown? Yeah. Through Midtown? Definitely. Alex,
Yes.
you brought the box.
Yes.
And Rebecca turns to Sid and the two you and goes, so what am I doing first? Fixing Sid's head or that thing?
We can play with the booby traps in his head later. Let's figure out whatever this is that Herschel was sent. Please.
Your bill just keeps getting bigger and bigger. She approaches the box very carefully. Almost very professional. She pulls a expanding silver pointer from one of her pockets and kind of uses it to flick open the lid. So can one of you open this for me?
And I'll step aside. Sid?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so you're gonna open the styrofoam box on the inside?
Yeah, but I'm gonna try to, hold it at arm's length. I don't know if it's gonna change anything. And open it.
Mm-hmm. All right. You open the box. Go ahead and roll me manipulation, occult, and you get a +2 and a DC of 5 because you've already overcome it once.
2 successes. Yeah, 2 successes.
You still feel it pushing against your mind, the desire and want for it to take you, but it can't. And you know it's not even frustrated. It's just it's programmed and this is what it needs to do, and it's not getting there, so it keeps going. And it's like a Roomba hitting a wall on repeat. You see, the minute the box opens, you see Rebecca just kind of recoil and almost go ashen.
Oh, that's not good if it makes her repulsed.
So, who do you know who likes to really mess around with dead things and compulsions?
Us? None that I know of, but Herschel is on the internet a lot, so who knows what he gets into.
Oh no, this did not come off of an internet. Can you close that, Sid? Please, please, please. And
this wouldn't be related to our spirit friend, would it?
Giovanni?
Yeah.
I mean, theoretically, I don't know exactly what books they all get into, but like, yeah, no, that's possible. Oh, God, I'm actually going to have to do this the hard way, aren't I? I don't like this. If I start screaming or pass out, one of you catch me.
Done.
And you just see her kind of go, yuck. And rubbing her fingers, it's like, all right, Sid, open it really quick. And she pulls the sleeve of her shirt up and reaches her hand down and just like kind of gives that face of somebody who has to clean chicken. And hates that slimy, nasty, icky feeling all over. And just like you see this look on her face as she's kind of half turned away and just like, I don't like this. Oh my God, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. And she touches the roses. One hand, well, she puts her left hand in the box and you see it touch the roses and her thumb touch the heart. And you all would see her eyes roll back into her head. And she stays there for 1 heartbeat, 2. And then suddenly feels like it looks almost like she's being shoved away from something and is flying backwards across the room.
And I'll catch her. God, I hope she's not warded with anything.
It's Rebecca. Could you roll me a either dexterity brawl or strength brawl? Or dex dodge, your choice. To try and catch her.
We'll use dex dodge. 2 successes.
You kind of slide underneath her just as she's about to hit the floor, and you notice that she is still breathing, but it's almost like she has jerking slightly as if she had an electrical shock. And her hand that she put in the box is red. Almost looks irritated. And it takes her a couple seconds to kind of shake it off and kind of stand up. And she goes, okay, so somebody's going to burn that like with lots of shit. And I might be giving you like a list of things to buy before you burn that. But so you want the good news or the... Well, let me rephrase that. You want the bad news or the really, really creepy, fucked up news?
Let's start with the really, really creepy, fucked up news because why not?
That heart is technically not human.
Oh.
Technically not human.
As in, it probably was a human-ish person before, at like a really long time ago. But that's not currently what a human belongs to a human, which is why it's like really well preserved.
What does it belong to then?
A Ventrue? They're kind of missing it.
Great.
Somebody killed a Ventrue and took their heart out to give to Herschel.
I mean, technically speaking, if the individual Ventrue was strong enough in fortitude and you didn't cut the head off, the heart is still intact. There may not necessarily be like dead.
Just nearly dead.
I'm assuming something like that would put someone in torpor.
Yes.
Should we hang on to the heart?
Well, it's currently tied as part of the magical working to the roses, and God, somebody really likes diablerie, and the other stuff that's involved, it kind of makes it a compulsion so that somebody, i.e. Herschel, can't say no.
Can't say no to what?
Whatever the individual...
Yeah, it's basically implying that whoever sent this to Herschel was trying to get on his good side, or basically the side to where he couldn't say no to.
Sounds like they want to take him.
I mean, Herschel does have his uses. Okay, what's the bad news?
It seems really familiar and kind of similar to a working that may have messed up, like, Sid's head.
Great.
How?
Let us know how to dispose of this, and we'll take care of that. In the meantime, I didn't want to go digging around in Sid's head without... Well, I'm assuming you laid the groundwork when Sid got back to New York?
Well, I fixed some of it, and he wasn't, like, raging grr all the time.
We, well, I managed to get a bit out around the time frame when he made a recording. And then he was pretty much visited by a couple of guys that shot him, and that's all I had gotten.
All right. Like, do you want me to try and, like, find more of your memories, or do you want me to actually, like, fix it long-term, Sid? Because, like, that's a whole different thing.
I mean, I've handled myself without those 20 years pretty fine, I think.
Yeah, but you kind of forgot other things.
Well, what would involve the former and what would involve the latter?
The former involves me doing kind of like the patch job kind of thing that I did before. The latter involves me and a whole bunch of other tools, and probably gonna want like Sire's blood to work with it.
You said my Sire's blood?
Yep.
It's gonna be a little hard to get by.
At least we know he's in town.
Yes, because this coincidence would have.
The schmuck is in town.
He's here.
That's what we're told. Well, at least that's what Jessica's telling me.
Huh. I need to get a bigger shotgun.
This guy really has a penchant for pissing people off, huh?
Mm-hmm. Like, Sid, do you even remember when you met him?
It was a while back. I was working on a case.
Mhm.
Details are a bit fuzzy, but
Yeah. What was the case about, Sid?
people disappearing.
Specifically?
Was the mafia involved or something? He says, looking up his background.
I've really acknowledged that I have notes for everybody, like, on multiple screens at this point. Well, the mafia, I guess, was kind of involved, I guess, in a certain sense. But, no. We had bigger issues.
Let me grab the drive. I put it on my Google Drive. It's okay, everyone. I was ready to delve back into my background. Sid. There we go. I was a Jewish kid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Child slavery.
And you met him.
Met who?
The
siren.
schmuck.
Oh, yeah. I got jumped or something. That I don't remember precisely, but yeah.
So you don't. All right, then. Well, I'm going to fix that kind of for you right now because, like, now you'll maybe understand why I think he's a giant schmuck. I kind of like you, Sid, so I don't want to hurt you. Why don't you have a seat?
I sit down.
Sid, could you roll me... I have a question, Sid.
Yep.
How likely are you to scream? Let's put it this way. Would you attempt to prevent yourself from screaming?
If I knew that something was going to be hurtful or painful, then yeah, I would find a way to prevent myself from screaming. Okay. If only to not, like, alert the neighbors so that they call the cops or something.
Mm-hmm. Rebecca would probably tell you that this is going to hurt. A little. Or maybe a lot. Kind of really depends. So can you roll me, let's see. Just straight willpower.
Would the fact that I have 2 dots in fortitude help?
Yes. You can use the +2.
Difficulty 6?
I'll say difficulty 5. Because she doesn't want to hurt you permanently.
Oof, 2 successes.
You manage to grit your teeth. And it's painful. Like the worst migraine you've ever experienced. Painful. Lights hurt. You feel this kind of nails on a chalkboard inside your ears kind of pain. And it's almost like somebody's pulling against something that doesn't want to come. Like you've got that door that's stuck. It's warped. The wood is bent and held fast, and somebody's pulling on it really hard, and then suddenly like put their foot like up against the wall and jerk it open.
Ow.
And you realize that Rebecca specifically targeted that memory in that warehouse. And the dead person, guy you thought was the owner of this kidnapping ring, kids. And you realize that you see more now. The guy his throat was ripped out. But there was no blood on the chair. And he'd been dead a while. A couple days, maybe. You are looking around and you're being careful because this is some messed up shit. And there's no blood on the floor. There's nothing on the papers. You're looking at papers, and then all of a sudden you see something out of the corner of your eye. It's a tall, well-dressed man, about your age roughly, but his clothes are weird. It's a long frock coat, sort of military. It looks almost German, sort of. And then he's in your face, and there's a fist coming at your head, and you're knocked unconscious. And you're waking up, and you're remembering that conversation you had with Eckhard. And he's telling you about how he's going to introduce you to this new society, and you remember something else that you didn't remember last time in the frenzy and crush of the embrace. He smelled, and it was the first smell you smelled on him. He smelled like blood, and smelled like that kid you were there to try and save, Sid. And that's when you realize that's what drove you over the edge. He was a threat. You don't remember how much or how involved he was with what actually happened in that warehouse, but you are convinced that the dead schmuck in the chair wasn't the guy running things.
Mm-hmm.
And then you remember reaching your hand out to try and strangle him, but your hand had changed. There were claws. And instead of trying to strangle him or put him down or arrest him or whatever you thought you were going to do in that moment, you claw across his face. And the first time you've ever done it, the first aggravated damage you've ever done, you barely miss his eye, but you leave him a scar across the side of his face. And then you remember leaving, being chased, and you remember a young Jewish woman helping you off the street into her store to hide before you left.
And that would be Rebecca?
That would be Rebecca. So like I said, he's a schmuck. Still kind of pissed you missed his eye.
Yeah, well. I wasn't experienced with these.
So, if he's here, then, I mean, possibly, like, we could really fix you, Sid.
Kill two birds with one stone. Get rid of Stein and, get my memory back.
When you say get rid of Stein, are you implying plan on killing him?
Diablerie? No. Killing him, yeah. Or, more likely, staking him and then dumping him to a concrete thing block and dropping him off the Brooklyn Bridge.
I don't recommend that because, like, the water kind of slowly dissolves the concrete. Like, particularly salt water.
Well, then we can pour concrete all around him and cut him up in a neat little block and leave it on a construction site to become the cornerstone of, like, a hospital or something.
Like, I can support that.
I'm all for getting his blood. Not sure we need to. Well, I've not met the man, so I can't say.
I'm sure, like, you have enough friends, like, with the borough captains and the sheriff that, like, if you mention the fact that you think this is something that needs to happen and, like, I support you in this, then, you know, you might get approval. And they'd be all, like, kosher and everything.
I'm not sure what his standing is with the Gangrel Primogen.
That would be...
I'm not trying to piss off an entire clan because, lack of a better term, daddy issues.
I don't care about pissing off. Well, they wouldn't piss off anyone.
Are you sure about that?
Granted, the attitude that Jessica has about this gentleman, I'm pretty sure he's pissed off quite a few people.
No, but I mean, nobody would miss him, is what I meant.
It's a schmuck. I know definitely people who wouldn't miss him. But if we're fixing, like, Sid's head, and that's the long-term goal, then yeah, you kind of need him, and I need it fresh, and it's going to take a while.
How are we going to get him?
I guess we need to find out where Eckert is and propose a trade. He wants his tax records. We want his blood. Should be easy enough, right?
You'd go for that?
Oh, God, no. I don't know anybody that would, but
But we can definitely try.
indeed.
Counterpoint, give him Herschel.
I don't think that would put the benefit in our favor.
Everybody needs a hacker.
Yeah, he's our hacker.
It's very true. He is our hacker.
He could play spy. Doesn't he watch those spy movies sometimes?
No, mostly he's watching the Pink Panther.
That's a spy thing, right? I don't know. That was before my time.
Well, if that's the plan, and I'll give you a list of things. Make sure that Herschel doesn't open that because he's gonna be gone. That would be a bad thing.
All right. Yeah, just get us a list and we'll throw it in the trash and burn it later.
Yeah. You might want to let your Primogen know that one of your venture was missing their heart.
And we can't salvage that, right? Just in case they want it back.
We don't even know who it belongs to.
Well, I'm sure Jessica could find out. And I'll actually send her a text right now and say, anything on the wire about a heartless Ventrue? Is someone in Torpor?
Let her know it's literal.
I think she knows.
Sorry, what?
Someone's up to some bullshit. Somebody's missing a heart somewhere. Probably Ventrue in Torpor. Have it on good authority. And I'll send her a picture of the heart and the roses.
She will send back an immediate response. No one of note. I will check into the rest of the family. Also forward this to the Tribune. If this is someone attacking us on a more particular bond, I wish to know.
Very well. And I will forward the message to Miss Montbelliard.
You get an immediate response from her saying, "Who the fuck let a Giovanni into New York?"
I will reply back, your guess is as good as mine.
Deal with this, please. I'm assuming we're looking for a missing Ventrue.
Yes.
I will keep my ear out.
We're making quite the list of enemies.
I have an appointment with the Giovanni. Yes, it is.
I'm probably going to attend with you.
I'm sure.
Wouldn't be a bad idea. We need to find out more about if this is the only Giovanni that's in town or if there are others.
From my little bit of research, I can tell you that this store has been around for quite some time. So there's a chance that they've been here for a while.
I find that unsettling. I'm not sure why the prince would have allowed this, especially for so long.
Well, I guess we'll get answers soon.
Well, if you don't need me anymore, sorry about that, Sid. I'll be going. I apparently have things to figure out. Also, I think I have to make more shotgun shells.
Just send us the list. We'll figure it out.
Well, no, that's me personally. I promised to shoot Stein in the ass the last time I saw him. If he ever came back to this city. So, I always keep my promises. The doorbell rings. Wow, you guys are popular.
I know, right?
Apparently. And I'll go to the door.
Yeah, Auden's gonna slide back away from it just in case.
There is a well-dressed, medium-height gentleman, slightly Jewish nose. His hair has been a little bit longer, but kind of slicked back in a very slightly overdone bouffant. Kind of looks almost like a historical film kind of look from like the 1700s or something, late 1700s, early 1800s, wearing a long black leather coat with a large almost pirate shirt kind of look. He's got a small, very stenciled wire mustache and a tattoo of the Toreador rose around his throat.
Auden
And he's holding a hat.
Auden is slowly creeping out of frame as much as possible.
Yes. Can I help you?
I'm looking for Auden.
Miss St. James is very busy. May I tell her who's inquiring?
Nathaniel Hawkins.
Would I know this gentleman?
You'd know of him. He's a Toreador of some note, but not really high ranking in the political scheme, or at least you can't tell. I mean, they're Toreadors. Who knows what the hell their political inter-clan whatever. It makes no sense to anyone. You're aware that person was at the top, was the Primogen last time, and then these people are over here talking about how they failed to do some art shit and therefore fell in grace, and you're like, okay, what the hell ever. But he is a relatively well-known. He's been in New York for a number of years, but he's been he hasn't been in the city for a while, almost 20 years now. He just kind of raises an eyebrow at you.
Is Miss St. James expecting you?
I believe so. I left her a note yesterday.
And is Auden behind me, or is she like working her way upstairs?
Oh, I am 100% trying to get away. So upstairs, anywhere I can go where I will not be seen.
So basically what Alexander know, either A, you're okay with this guy coming in, or B, do you want me to tell him to fuck off?
You're okay. You guys are probably standing in the entryway. The only stairs upstairs is if the door to the foyer was open, you'd see, because the stairs are right there.
So you're either ducking out the back or
going downstairs.
100%.
Or going down to hang out with Herschel.
Ooh,
Actually,
what's worse?
Auden is going down to Herschel. She's in such a desperate situation that she is creeping towards the basement.
I mean, you could get there without being seen. Because the door between this door here is probably closed between the hallway and the kitchen. And that's where the downstairs stairs are. But could you roll me a Dex stealth to see how quietly you can sneak away?
1 success.
It's still a success.
It's still a success.
It's still a success. It is still a success. You manage to slide yourself down through the hall, like barely cracking this door between Sid's office and the conference room, and then you crack the door slightly. It creaks a little because it's an old house, but it's like that subtle house settle creaking, so it doesn't seem to be anything out of the ordinary, and you sneak yourself downstairs to hide with Herschel.
And I just look at him and I'm like, if you say a single word, I have no qualms in killing you. And just kind of like makes herself as small as possible and like turns her phone onto airplane mode like nobody needs to know where she is.
It's starting to smell a little down there because they haven't cleaned up the remains that are still there. But with Herschel, how can you tell?
I just assume it's all Herschel, just all Herschel sense.
Sid, what are you doing while Alex is dealing with this gentleman standing on your doorstep? And Auden is sneaking downstairs.
No Pink Panther song, though.
No Pink Panther theme song.
I think I'll stay in the entrance to my office, like here. Basically, from the threshold that goes into my office, I'm just leaning against the wall and looking at Alexander and what's his face?
Nathaniel Hawkins.
Sure, what's his face? If I can see him from,
Yep.
in the entryway or some such.
Yep, go right ahead. So Alex, what are you doing?
Miss St. James is out for the evening. Would you like me to tell her you stopped by?
Yes. I'll be in the city for the next couple of days. I wish to speak with her.
Very well. Does she know where she can find you, or would you like to leave that information with me as well?
I will leave you my card. It's what all well-bred vampires would do, isn't it? Here
Indeed.
you are.
I'll take his card, put it in my suit jacket, bid you good evening and good night, and I'll shut the door.
He kind of stands on the doorstep for a moment, and then you just hear, and this. If you're looking, you would see a very overly dramatic flourish of the coat as he stalks down the stairs, the stoop, and he puts his hat back on and walks away.
Yep, that sounds on brand.
And I'll give him enough time to get away. And I'll put my head down the basement door, and he's gone.
Auden will slowly creep upstairs like she doesn't believe it.
And I'll put the card on a small table there in the foyer.
Oh, what did he say?
Not much. I didn't leave him a lot of room for conversation.
It was for the best.
Basically told him you were busy, not home, and, well, you'll be in touch.
Yes.
So that's your sire.
That's Nathaniel.
Seems a little over dramatic.
Yes, that's very much his style. Every flourish, every touch, it's all It's a lot, but he makes a point of doing it. Every move is calculated.
Well, there's his card, so if you want to get in touch with him, it's probably the best way.
I have a feeling I will eventually have to.
Just know you don't have to be alone.
Oh, I have a feeling he'll much prefer it that way.
All right. Just be careful.
Always. But for now, I think we have an appointment.
Yes.
You do. Rebecca has left by this point. She kind of just, it's almost odd. You thought that she was there and suddenly she's just not. But hey, you're almost getting used to her doing that, sort of. Sid.
Yes.
What are you going to do while Auden and Alex are going to, well, see about a new attire for your fight night?
I don't think Sid would prep for his fight night.
Mary Phrase, are you going with them to go shopping?
Could always tag along. Meet this Giovanni.
Yeah, I thought it would take longer for Rebecca to do her stuff. But yeah, sure, I could probably get like a new suit just to look fancy while I wreck the other dude.
The Bruja?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure they mostly do women's clothes, Sid.
That's what I thought.
Crap.
I was just going.
I thought they were
to
like
the bill.
I thought they were like a tailor.
Get the suit that makes you feel good, but it might be cut more for curves than you're expecting.
Yeah, no.
You know, there might be some accentuation needed for him.
Maybe you want to highlight a waist as opposed to shoulders. You know, I get it. Everybody's got their.
Yeah,
there probably are another bunch of men's tailors on men's stores on Fifth Avenue.
Fifth Avenue? Yeah, I would certainly hope so.
But they're probably not open at 1:30 in the morning.
Not run by Giovanni.
No, I'll go with Auden and Alexander then. If only to just tag along.
To tag along or to be the creepy bodyguard?
Well, I'm always looking for a reason to fuck up someone, but...
Okay. So then Alex would receive a text that your car is waiting outside.
Shall we go?
Let's do this.
Very well.
Just be on your best behavior, Sid.
Always.
They don't seem to be a trifle with fools type, if you know what I mean.
Nope. What are you gonna do with the box?
Again, we should probably put that thing somewhere Herschel's not going to go looking for it. Probably put it in the trash and take it out back. Just in preparation to burn it. So, yeah, out back, can lid on, just somewhere that Herschel's not going to go digging around in it.
Well, we have like a storage There's a storage like thing outside in the garden. We can just like put the box there. It's outside.
That works.
Mm-hmm. All right, then. It is your usual driver. Again, no comment as he opens the door for you all. It's still raining. The storm is chased most folk who would be walking inside. The few that are out this late and have to be walking on the streets are doing so head, if they're don't have an umbrella, they've got that head down, hat pulled down, striding, trying hunched over kind of look. A couple of them have the umbrella trying to hold it tight. The wind is starting to pick up. You make your way up Fifth Avenue and the car drops you off at Maselli's between 48th and 49th on the west side of the street across from Cartier.
I'll tell the driver, find a place to park nearby. Wait here.
There is he nods. He'll be back. You're pretty sure he'll have to kind of drive around a little bit because of the way the one-way streets are working up here. But he says he will find a place very close. It is a very circumspect. There's a small brass sign on the door, a small revolving, old-fashioned revolving door, wood and brass. There's a small awning just over the door, black and bronze canvas on it. One window to the left of the door with a very vintage looking, very well tailored, but somehow slightly modern dress in the window. You enter inside, it's quiet. Absolutely silent. The lights are on. There's a small sitting area, kind of 3/4 of the way back to the left. Right inside, there are a number of bolts of cloth along the walls, and you see a number of pictures of very famous, various Broadway divas, a couple opera prima donnas in various dresses standing next to, standing in front of the store. You can kind of or inside the store, you can get the impression that these are all, very famous premiere dresses, all of these things. You see a couple other like mannequins with a very cross between Coco Chanel from the 1950s and Armani from today. A very classic yet somehow edgy look. There's a small, like I said, small sitting area with a small wooden table in front. There's a 3-way mirror with a pedestal in front of it. And coming from the back room behind a door is Francesca Maselli. And if you would like to see what she looks like, I can show you to her. Again, in a very well-tailored kind of suit, today with a double-breasted vest that crosses and highlights exactly what her mama gave her. Miss, I'm St. James, is it? I'm so glad you could join us. And these are your...
They are my coterie, as it were. My bodyguard and...
Coterie? That's such an odd word.
Supplier. we'll say. And she gestures at Alexander. My benefactor.
Oh, the man with the money. I understand that one.
Mm.
What are we looking for tonight?
Well, I have several major events coming up, and I'd like something that captures more of the upscale sort of look of what they're going for. Everything is very much, people are very stuck on these very modern appeals, and I'd like to look for something a little more vintage, a little more Hepburn, a little less everybody else today. I'd like to stand out.
Which Hepburn?
Everybody says Audrey because they think they can pull it off, but let's be realistic. I'd like to be Catherine.
Mm. Woman of the Year or Bringing Up Baby?
Woman of the Year.
Of course. Why don't you step right up here and we can get started?
She's gonna nod to the vamp dads and get started with it.
She works rather quickly. Measuring, makes polite small talk. There you are. Was there something in particular you were looking to find? What event are we looking for today? Something.
Well, I do have an old friend in town, and it would be nice to remind him that I am not a child anymore.
Subtly seductive or empowering?
Oh, empowered for sure.
Of course.
Anything will seduce the right person. But to give off an air of power, that's different.
Black, I'm assuming.
Indeed.
It just works with your skin tone so lovely. This such a charming color. Sid or Alex, what are you two doing while this exchange is happening?
I lean to Alex and I whisper, "Did you get any of that? This is all just gibberish to me."
It's not much to get. She's actually doing what, well, we came to do, but I'm curious to find out who this Francesca really is.
See, I'm curious to know who that old friend is. Was she talking about her sire?
I'm assuming so. Kind of a pompous asshole, if you ask me, but...
With the neck tattoo and everything? Yeah.
A bit of a flair for the dramatic.
He's a Toreador, what would you expect?
I don't know, a little style, a little substance.
Well, you know what they say about stereotypes.
They exist because they're true?
They exist because some of people perpetuate them. Like, you know, having a giant rose tattooed on your neck.
Yeah, that seems a bit odd. That means he had the tattoo before he was turned.
I think he got it after.
Well, we can't keep those things.
It's ink in the skin.
Yeah, when our skin heals quite quickly. You know this.
Wow, he must have been such a fanboy before.
I'm assuming a ghoul, maybe.
Oh, that could make sense.
I mean...
Can you all roll me perception alertness?
No.
Do.
Sid, you can use your hearing for this one.
Cool. What was the hearing again? Shit.
It lowers the difficulty by
Lowers
2.
by 2. So I figure it's regular difficulty would be 6.
Regular difficulty is 6.
Bunch of successes.
You all hear as a door in the back opens and closes. You hear another door. You hear another set of footsteps as 3 more people enter from the front revolving door.
I didn't think our appointment was ending so soon.
Oh. Well, I do struggle to keep track of time when I get busy, but apparently family matters.
Is that so?
We should take our leave. I do thank you for your time. I'm assuming you have Miss St. James' measurements?
Oh, yes. I have everything I need. I look forward to sending it over to you.
Very well. And I'm texting the driver as I'm speaking, saying, "We're leaving now."
The 3 gentlemen who came in through the revolving door, they're muscle. They look like stereotypes from an Italian mob movie, muscle. Except for the guy in the middle. He looks less muscle and more somehow in charge. But you see that he looks directly at Francesca. And Sid, you would notice with those 5 successes that he waits for her to signal to whether to move out of the way or not. And you see a glint of deference that he has towards her. The other 2 were just, they're Goomba. They're there, whatever. They're gonna, who knows? He is a young Michael Corleone.
Well, Francesca, your services are greatly appreciated, and I look forward to seeing you again.
I cannot wait. It will be my pleasure.
And I'm going to gesture for Sid towards the door. Just, let's, get out of here. Auden, let's take our leave, please.
Indeed.
I'll send you some mock-ups.
I believe you know where to find us. I'm just going to say that over my shoulder as I'm walking away.
Sid, the guys do move out of the way for you. With those 5 successes, you would definitely notice that they are all carrying at least 2 guns. The gentleman, young Michael Corleone definitely also seems to have a couple other weapons stashed on him at the moment, but none of them are reaching for them. And you walk out into the night. The driver has pulled the car right up in front of the store. He hurries to open the door for you all.
The moment I'm in the car, I'll turn to the rest of the group and say, was that just me, or was that the most ominous dress shopping thing we've ever done?
I think they're trying to intimidate us.
Oh, they're trying to do more than intimidate us. The question is what the fuck do the Giovanni want with us?
I think we've got to do a little more research on our friends here.
And as we're driving away, I want to text Jessica Pearson and ask why the fuck the princess allowed Giovanni in the city. And I will text her the address to Masani's and all that.
There are no Giovanni vampires in New York.
I will respectfully disagree.
Seems we need to have a personal meeting.
You were told.
Time and date.
I will be at your abode in an hour.
Very well. See you soon. Couple of heart signs.
I think that's where we're going to leave it for today.
What's up with you and your emoji usage?
Some of us have to embrace technology, right? We can't all just pass out at Victrola recordings and, you know.
I mean, it was Frank Sinatra, so there is that.
It's true. It's very true.
Indeed, I guess.
Yeah, give
Gotta
me some good old Elvis.
You gotta have your snarky repertoire, but you can't do that if you're texting everybody unless you're using emojis.
So you're intentionally snarking your Primogen. Good to know. Good to know. So we apparently have lots of daddy issues.
Yeah.
So many daddy issues.
But what's fun is that, like, mine is at the center of all of my issues. So I solve one, I solve them all.
I'm more interested to hear what Auden's daddy issues are about.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'll be a whole can of worms.
Cause I mean, your sire looks very interesting.
Oh yes.
Oh, he's in the dock now?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, please say yes, because that's.
I don't know. I just went from the description and the.
Oh
short
no!
introduction
I
we
didn't.
had.
I did not put him in that doc yet. I need to find the more accurate picture than the one you sent,
Yeah. Okay. I'm excited.
because what he looks like now is not what he looked like when Auden knew him. But if you want to know what he looks like now, picture Mandy Patinkin in Princess Bride, but with a Pride and Prejudice haircut.
My name is Nico Montoya, and I'm. you killed my popularity. Prepare to die.
My name is Nathaniel. You have burnt my car. Prepare to die.
Oh, basically.
Oh, I love this. This is good.
All right.
So we all doing okay?
Oh, yeah.
Very much so.
I for some reason I do not have access to the drive anymore. To the folder.
I will fix that. I will fix it to you. I will fix that.
Because I was trying to find the name of the sheriff and borough captain
Which one do you want?
earlier. Well, it's doesn't matter because it's the session is done, but it's just I went to look for them, and realized that the folder is no longer shared with me. I have a VDM lore folder, but I don't have the other one with all the face claims.
Now you do.
Thank you. I don't know why it disappeared.
It's does weird things.
My bad.
But
So, thank you everyone for coming, by the way. We had a little bit of post-game chat here while we were still live. But yeah, thank you to all of you that hung out in chat. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the raid. Who is it? Open for Adventure. Thank you so much for coming in and raiding. And thank you to all of you who are watching on YouTube. It's always greatly appreciated to know that we have fans of the show a little bit everywhere. Before we do outros, the show is sponsored by Mage and Press, like all of our streams here. If you want to go on their store at store.mageandpress.com, you can check out all of their books, and you can use code WanderingDM to get 15% off anything that you purchase. I am Simon at Wandering DM, but before I do the outro for the channel, let's just go around the table. Tell us who you are, where we can find you, what you have going on in your lives, and let's start with Vamp Dad, number 2.
Wait, why am I number 2? Wait a minute. How did I earn that moniker? So yeah, I'm Scott at Berserker_Rage on Twitter and in Twitch. You can find me here on Saturdays, being the more prominent half of the Vamp Dads. Always a good time. Happy to be here. Love you guys. So thank you for having me, and it's such a fun time.
Well, thank you for coming. And Auden, who are you?
Yep. I'm Alyssa. You can find me at Xander Slamilton here and on Twitch or on Twitter. It's getting to the nap time for me. Yeah, just kind of hanging around, having a great time. It's nice to be back. I've missed all of you so much.
Mm-hmm. We've missed you too. And Deirdre, where can we find you?
Oh, hey all, you know me. I'm at Deirdre on Twitter or Praxidor Thesmophoria, as you see me hanging out in the Twitch chat. Monday, I'll be over on Age of Arcana for some of Simon's fun times over on Role Players. And Friday, back here for some Castle Falkenstein fun. Don't know how we're going to top Smooch PvP, but we'll figure that out. And then back here Saturday for more Vampire, as things are kind of heating up in New York, as it were. But also on my pinned tweet, I released a game that I wrote called Hellene Heroines, about playing heroines of ancient Greek mythology. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Really appreciate it. But always check my Twitter, because I'm going to post where I'm going to be, and there might be something else that I'm doing this week, but I can't talk about it yet because things haven't been announced. So check my Twitter.
And I am Simon at Wandering DM. We stream here every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern with Dark Matter D&D in Space. We will not be streaming this week because we're on not mid-season, but in-between season hiatus while I, prep for the next the last season of Dark Matter, as the group will go head to head with the Illithid fleet. On Friday is this upcoming Friday is our finale for Castle Falkenstein. If you want to watch the drinking and flirting game, this is the time to watch it, especially since it's the finale, so I think we're gonna go all out. Next Saturday is Vampire the Masquerade, like every Saturday at 1 p.m., where we play, well, you've seen it today, the Vamp Dads and the Vamp family with our daughter and gremlin child. And that is it for us today. Let's go see who we can raid. Who can we raid this afternoon? Let's go with Tall Squall. He's doing the Vice. I think episode 115.
Yep.
So let's go and say hi to Squall, because he's awesome. If you
and the charity this month is mental health, I think.
Yeah, it's mental health because it was Mental Health Day this week, I think.
Yep.
So let's go and raid Squall, and we will see you again. Well, on Tuesday or next week. Bye-bye, everyone.